If Aragon can defeat Castile here and then slowly unite, they could form Iberia and be a very strong country in Europe. At least the borders are evening out a bit, and it's not going to be as border gory on the border anymore. This war between these two rivals has lasted, I don't even know, I'll have to check the date when the war started. But I believe it's been going on for around 10 years. Most of Serbia's... oh god. Serbia has abandoned the front with Ethiopia, and Ethiopia is going to start taking the Middle East. Hey boys, and welcome back to another video. Calm down, level up. We're here again, every state independent, and man, that time lapse I left you guys with last time was a little bit of a cliffhanger, wasn't it? A lot of you were wondering what happened over here, and it's time to go investigate. I am also a little bit confused, but I think I know what happened to France. Really quick thank you to Cursed Potassium, Call Space, Jordan X, Boba Fett 13, Infinity Mapping, Bubby, and Infinitum Gamer. Thank you all for being awesome patrons, and I really appreciate it. If you would like to become a patron, make sure to check out the link below. And let's get right into this thing, boys. There's a lot going on we gotta talk about. This is probably going to be, I would assume, like the second to last episode, because things are really wrapping up quick, and the last episode is gonna be a lot of work for me to fix. It's gonna be a lot of work for me to get through. It's gonna be like hours and hours of recording, I assume, because it's gonna be taking a while. It's gonna take a while for the last few nations here to kill each other off with how strong they are. Now the results are in. I did a poll asking you guys, who do you think will win every state independent? Now I'm sure there's a little bit of bias in there, but this seems to be the accurate portrayal of who you guys think will win. YouTube polls only let you put 5 options. I would have put 7 so I could include Dahomey and Uruguay as well. But it only lets you include 5 options, so I included the top 5, which seem to be, at number 5, Abyssinia at 5%. I think I accidentally called it Assyria on the poll. That is my bad. At number 4, we have Imperial Bulgarod. 10% of you guys think Bulgarod will win. At number 3, we have Central America or Illinois at 12%. And at number 2, of course, we have the Transcaucasian People's Republic, or Transdanubia, the Hungarian state, at 16%. And of course, number 1, the German Republic, or Pommern, at 57%. Now, it's pretty obvious why you guys think that. Getting in here, let's go over to Germany. 213 divisions. They've gotten some more factories recently. They now have 1,600 plus factories. They only have 858,000 manpower, so they could have an issue with manpower. There aren't service by requirement. They can go up 2 more still. But if they start losing a lot of manpower, getting themselves into a bad situation, they could really screw themselves over with this manpower thing. Now, what happened to France? Well, I think what happened was Iberia, of course, capitulated, and Germany ended up going after Greece, or Albania, which was right here, of course. The Albanians didn't hold the choke point. The AI was dumb, and I think they walked out of it, of course. So the Germans were able to seize it. I know a lot of you guys were rooting for them too, so that is a big F. Can we get a big F for the Greeks / Albanians? They were a big major pick for a long time and very fun to watch. But they were broken, and so the very next thing for the Germans to go after was the French. Now you can see there's a few states here that aren't actually owned by the Germans yet. And that's because these random states were actually annexed by Britannia. We have a little bit of a Battle of the Atlantic kind of situation going on, but there hasn't really been any actual combat that I've seen. Oh, there's a couple sunken German convoys there. What does the air look like? This is something I haven't thought about. The Germans have tons of planes, and they are focusing the English Channel and southern England. But they do not seem to have control over southern England yet. It is yellow. The English are losing the English Channel, and of course it's yellow in southern England. Now green. They have to focus defending themselves here. The English are again in a very bad spot. They are trying to defend their island as much as possible with their ships. They do have a big army, 157 divisions. I mean, that's not that far off the Germans' 213. Now, after the Germans actually took these states from Britannia, they have turned their eyes to their next weakest neighbor, which in this case is Bulgarod. So they have attacked Bulgarod. Bulgarod has virtually no divisions over here right now, so they are going to lose their homeland. Most of their army is over here still fighting the Chinese. I think that the only way that the Germans lose this is if the Britannians actually do a landing, and Bulgarod, wow, they've moved most of their army over here. If Bulgarod holds them maybe at the Urals and starts inflicting lots of manpower damage, as well as a Britannian landing at the same time, I think that would probably do in Germany. And make sure to stick around to the end, boys. We are going to be doing the country ball contest winner and art showcase at the end of this episode. Of course, our homie is not doing that great. Ever since they became the Greater Malian Democratic Republic, man, they just have not been the same. Abyssinia has been kicking their butt, and it's not fun. It's not fun to watch, so I'm not going to be paying attention to it. Also, I'd like to address the fact that, of course, I said Libsyn in the previous episode instead of Lisbon. Everybody, I did it. That's what I did. The Transcaucasian People's Republic, who pulled in second place at 16%, are they at war with Hunan as well? They are fighting Singapore with the Hunan, Empire? No, the Soviet state of Hunan, I forgot. Now, another question to ask is if the Shaanxi Republic can actually survive long enough to see Imperial Bulgarod die, so that maybe they actually can annex some land. Then Germany would probably have to fight all the way through Shaanxi again. Another thing I noticed, boys, is Uruguay actually might be beating Central America, at least down here in South America for now. You can see that the borders here have mostly moved in Uruguay's favor, and are continuing to do so. It looks like they're even overrunning troops. The troop stacks seem to be larger on Uruguay's side. The organization seems to be better. The average strength seems to be better on Uruguay's side. It would be really cool if Uruguay actually was able to defeat Illinois. The Russians seem to be pushing the Germans back a little bit over here in the north, probably due to just German division scrambling. I'm not sure what would have caused that. They have taken pretty much everything down here now. Yeah, the Germans seem to be scrambling their divisions around, which is always something fun that the AI does. And man, the Germans seem to have the ocean. Wow, I didn't realize that they had that much. They seem to have the ocean just locked down with their navy at this point. Britain is just totally surrounded by German green ocean tiles. They even have all the way up here in Labrador Sea. There is a fleet of 42 ships checking it out over here. In the aerial view, they do have supremacy over southern England now, or I guess it's switching back and forth between English Channel and southern England. Transcaucasia is destroying Singapore. They were decrypted by Singapore, though, it looked like. Back to the Americas, Republic of Central America, aka Illinois. They're at 1.4 million manpower. Uruguay is at 1.2, so they're actually pretty close. I think they're both taking quite a bit of casualties. I'd like to actually check casualties now because, of course, the list isn't that crazy long. We can really just check out casualties. So far, wow, Bulgarod has taken 414,000 against Germany. That's insane. It must have been from encirclements and stuff, where Germany's only taken 18,000. Bulgarod took 2.46 million against Shaanxi's 2 million. So far, the federal state of Central America has lost 1.32 million versus Uruguay's 637,000. So they're inflicting double casualties. Abyssinia versus our homie. Our homie has only taken 633 compared to Abyssinia's 1.4 million, so our homie is still kicking butt. Wait, is Germany? Oh, Germany's at war with Abyssinia. I didn't realize that. There may still be a chance for our homie to last a little longer, boys. If somehow Germany is able to do some kind of landing into Abyssinia, which it doesn't look like they're planning or anything, if that's possible, then our homie could last just a little while longer. Oh, boys. Oh, they're right on this, though. Boys, Britannia did do a landing, but Germany was right on it. I mean, that's gonna lift, it looks like it's lifted pressure off the Bulgarod front, but Bulgarod, why do you have troops all over? That's really inefficient. This would work if Bulgarod had like a massive push here at the same time, But no, this is not going to work. This is going to collapse in on itself real quick. There is so many Germans here. I mean, this is going to mess with the German manpower a little bit, probably. Yep, that would be an encirclement right there. The Germans have laid some divisions off of this front. And, yeah, I think Britannia is still pumping divisions into it, or trying to at least. Germany's having a hard time taking this still, but I'm sure it'll fall pretty soon. And there it goes, boys. The Britannia's tried. There's naval battles occurring, though. It's mostly just convoys getting sunk on the German side, whilst the Germans are trying to defend their convoys. They have over 7,000 of them, almost 8,000 of them. They lost 9 convoys there, 10, 11. I'm not seeing any German, like, military ships getting sunk, or any Britannian submarines either, but the Transcaucasian People's Republic slowly pushing through Singapore's last line of defense here before they approach the mainland. Singapore is fighting for every last inch. Singapore's Home Guard Division preparing its last stand, while the army is slowly being overrun to the north. Singapore down to its last 8 divisions, and I'm not sure if the 7 that are actually fighting up here are even going to survive reaching Singapore. They're getting cut off and surrounded constantly. Down to the last 3 divisions defending up here. Will any of them make it back to the homeland? Oh no, it's down to the last one. They've sent the Home Guard Division up north to help fight. That's probably a bad idea. They should probably just hold Singapore, but I mean, it's all for naught anyways. Yep, there he goes. None of them made it back home. This is the final division, and it's at full strength, so it'll do some damage. But is it smart? Is it just gonna get itself encircled? It looks like it. It was not encircled. It was pushed back, but it might not reach Singapore before the enemies do. Okay, it has reached Singapore. It is defending its homeland. Also, at the same time, Transcaucasia deciphered their secrets. And rest in peace. Transcaucasian People's Republic has declared war on the Soviet state of Hunan. Were they ready for that? Did they have troops on here? Yeah, they did. Oh, that's going to be bad for Hunan, too, because I bet you they have not too many, but they do have troops down there in Cambodia, and they're going to be instantly encircled. Yeah, the Germans could actually be held up here in Eastern Europe for a while, and it could really damage their manpower. Belgrade, actually, their manpower has been going up, but Belgrade really is just a meat shield for everyone else at this point. It's fighting off the Chinese, too, who are making a comeback. The Transcaucasian People's Republic will probably be the nation that will do the most damage to China, but it'll gain a ton of manpower from that. I mean, Transcaucasia by far is the leader in manpower with 13.8 million. German Republic, as strong as they are, actually with almost 2,000 factories now, they're only at 1.97 million manpower. So the encirclement that I predicted didn't actually happen, but it is still a threat. Transcaucasia is probably going to try to cut off Indochina, or cut it in 2, because Hunan has actually pumped quite a few more divisions down in here for defense. If this does get cut off, that is very bad for them. This is just going to be a tough fight for both sides, probably, seeing how this is just bad terrain for fighting. Ooh, Transcaucasia, they are missing 12,500 support equipment, as well as 5,000 anti-tank too. I'm surprised that they have that required for something. Also a lot of motorized. So that is what is missing in these divisions here. As you can see, some of them are fighting at probably 80% strength. Hunan, on the other hand, is a little bit worse with its equipment. It's got 40,000 infantry equipment. That's nothing compared to the 1.5 million that Transcaucasia has. But it's missing a ton of artillery, which Transcaucasia has plenty of. It's missing anti-tank, it's missing motorized, and support equipment. Germany, I would assume, is fine in equipment. They're missing motorized, but that's the only thing. And Belgrade, I'm sure they're probably missing some stuff. They're missing artillery, anti-tank, support equipment, and fighters. It looks like most of their air force was probably destroyed fighting Germany. Ooh, what happened here? How did Abyssinia do a naval invasion? Or did they just fight all the way here and get encircled and then get driven back? I can't tell what's going on here. That looks like this line really hasn't changed. Actually, our homie has gained divisions. I think they've gained 1 or 2. As Abyssinia is having equipment shortages. Not as bad as our homie. Could our homie make a comeback, boys? That is the question. It's possible. I mean, they're doing a lot of damage to Abyssinia on the defense. We seem to have had a breakthrough for Transcaucasia in Cambodia. Most of Cambodia is now under Transcaugasia's control. And we have a couple divisions here that were cut off, but it's not that bad of an encirclement. It looks like most of eastern Tibet, pretty much, has fallen to Transcaucasia as well. Xinjiang better be ready, because I'm sure that's who they're declaring war on next. Oh, you know what? No, it might be Abyssinia. Yeah, I think that's probably who they're going to attack. Well, Shaanxi actually does have less divisions than Abyssinia right now. You can see Hunan here trying to put up a defense of this little bit. Actually, they left it open there for a sec, but this is gonna get cut off soon. And there it was, boys. Hunan was cut, or at least the Indo-Chinese part was cut off from Hunan. They still do have Saigon, so Saigon needs to fall for Transcaucasia to actually have this be a true encirclement, and it does seem to be defended pretty well. And this whole area might just be being evacuated. I like how there's like one little coastal battery there and nowhere else. There are some in Saigon though. Oh, Saigon actually might fall here. Yes, it has. So these guys are all officially encircled. Rest in peace, Hunan troops. I'd be getting a little bit worried if I was Hunan by now. Their divisions are not in that great of condition. They do have a river they can try to hold here, but that's not going to last too long. Also, it seems things have started to even out over here in Central America. Both of these sides are just suffering, but it seems that Uruguay is starting to suffer a little bit more, probably with equipment. Yeah, they have no guns, no nothing at this point, so this jungle warfare has been very bad for both sides, I think. Our homie continues to go up in divisions. They've still gained another one, and it looks like Abyssinia is still the same. They have plenty of infantry equipment, but they have run out of basically everything else. And the Germans still have not reached the Urals yet, so that's a good sign if you are rooting for them to die. Here's the last Hunan pocket in Indochina before it goes. Rest in peace, that was a lot of overruns. Oh boys, the Japanese People's Republic has formed, it looks like. They finally united, 30 divisions, that's pretty cute. Oh, did they do a landing? They must have and left. Wow, they actually invaded Taiwan, that's crazy. Did they take over anything else? No, they're friends with Okinawa. But look at them launching naval invasions and stuff. Good for them. They've got a nice little navy as well. You're a little late for the party, Japan. As you can see, the rest of the world is sort of on track to be completely united here. More pockets of Hunan troops in the north. It's getting bad for them. It's pretty much endgame at this point. They were probably one of the more worthy opponents for Transcaucasia at this point. Hunan was not weak at all. They had over 100 divisions, I believe. But Transcaucasia and their human wave tactics. They are building more and more armies as well, boys. 294 divisions. I did not realize that. Does that mean that they have more divisions than Germany? Oh no, it does not. Germany has built some more divisions recently, boys. They're at 757. Oh man. I mean, they gotta be careful with funding that many divisions on that level of manpower. But Belgorod still holding them back. They're at 230,000 manpower now, as well as missing pretty much everything except for guns. The island of Hainan has been cut off, and it appears that it's not being assaulted yet, but I'm sure it will be soon. It's being guarded by 5 divisions on its port. Also, Macau and Hong Kong were taken. Were these? Oh, these are already owned by Transcaucasia. They must have been... I forgot who those were owned by. I don't remember. Ooh, rest in peace. Transcaucasia's People's Republic has killed off Hunan, and they are going after Abyssinia. I thought that they would go after Shaanxi, but Shaanxi must have built some of their army back. 144. Abyssinia is 150. Okay, so they still decided to go after Abyssinia, even though they are slightly weaker with divisions, or slightly stronger with divisions. They have more factories as well. Okay, curious. That tells us a little bit about the AI's decision making, that it's not necessarily about divisions. I'm going to leave you guys with another time-lapse here before we get into the Country Ball Art Contest showcase and submission showcase and winner. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Boys, it is time to announce the winner of the Country Ball Art Contest. Of course, the winner receives CK3 copy that was not provided to me, by the way. I'm purchasing myself with Patreon money, so thank you, patron. You are the reason that this copy was purchased for the winner here today. Before we announce the winner, I'm going to show off a bunch of the really cool submissions I got. Alright boys, once I saw this one, I knew it might be kind of hard to beat, and I think I was pretty much right. These were all so fun to receive, and I really appreciate all the submissions. But man, you guys are going to really enjoy looking at this, and I'll make sure to maybe make a YouTube post with it so you guys can look at it better. Thank you so much, Yakub, for your submission. It is incredibly detailed, and I really appreciate the looks, like the crazy amount of time you put into that. There are so many little Easter eggs and things you can find within this just one single image. We have Hungary there before they turned into Transcaucasia. Slovenia is still there. We have the Bohemian-Lithuanian rivalry. We have Franken as the German Empire. We have fascist Cambria over there fighting the King of Scotland. We have the politics occurring in Iberia. I really love Robot Luxembourg and Greece wearing the Albanian mask. It's just so good. We also can see what the politics of Ukraine and the Crimean region look like before the Free State of St. George was crushed after the Battle of Sevastopol by Kherson. We also have Big Boy Bulgarod over there. Man, there's just everything. There's just so much to look at. And man, thank you so much for the submission. It's really cool. With your permission, I'd love to share it more, like maybe integrate it into the channel art banner. Of course, if you don't want it up there, I won't put it. But I'll get a hold of you, or you get a hold of me on Twitter, and I'll get you your code. But thanks everyone for participating. I really appreciate it. It's always I always love looking at these. And I'll see you guys next time in the finale. That's right, the next one is the last one before we get on to other stuff. Peace.